What am I going to throw you? Get up there.
Welcome back, guys. For the next step in our build, we finally get to begin building the roof deck over the center section.
Yeah, and once that's done, we're going to work on air sealing in between the bottom of the wall and top of the shipping container, making sure that's air sealed and watertight, and then we're going to start framing the roofs over both the shipping containers.
All right, we're ready to nail in the first piece of plywood. I'm literally tearing up right now. This has been a long time coming. I'm just so happy that we're finally seeing our hard work pay off. All right, the first one's done. How does it feel?
Good. Sitting on that overhang over here.
He just has to sit on the very edge and absolutely terrify me. Give it the shake test. Oh yeah, it's strong. Two things will happen. One, I could face plant, or two, actually three things. One, I could face plant. Two, I could fall to my death, or three, I get scraped out.
What am I going to throw you?
I don't have the upper body strength that you have. I feel like a cheerleader. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You gotta grab. Can you just do it? Just lift me up.
No, as soon as you jump up there, I'll shove your butt up there. I feel like a cartoon character.
1, 2, 3.
Your butt. Got up there. So in between every rafter gap, we're putting these H-clips. These H-clips give the plywood panels just enough spacing, which is the 1/8 of an inch thick spacing. And not only do they give it the proper spacing for expansion and contraction, but they also help stiffen up the plywood in between those joists.
It is nice and sturdy up here. Just don't look down.
And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
Alright, so we have got done this entire first row of plywood here, and we started up on the second row. Ooh. Need to look where I'm walking. So we're gonna try to finish that up today. Let's try this again. Don't hurt me this time. Thank you. That was so hot! That was so much better. Can't get two on. There you go.
What?
Can't get them on.
Yeah, let's fucking do this. God, that was so freaking hard.
I applaud you in your strength that does not exist in this reality. No, let me do it. Okay. Okay, that one, I definitely loosened it for you. Have this little strip at the top right here, and all the way across is actually just 8.5 inches in height right here that we need to cut. So we're gonna go ahead, and this last sheet of plywood we have right here, we're gonna start cutting that into strips. You guys, this is about to be the last piece of the roof deck. I am so excited. I might be a little biased, but this is definitely the top 3 roofs I've ever seen in my life. No, for real though, how satisfying is it sitting on a roof that we just built?
It'll be even more satisfying whenever we have our first rain, once the whole thing's sealed off and it's not leaking.
Yeah, and we have rainwater catchment. Man, I kind of feel like we're badasses right now.
All right, well, we got some bad news. We finished the roof deck, and the last couple of days it has just been a downpour of rain. And we come out here to clean up some of the water off the top of the containers and start working on sealing the bottom of the walls on top of the containers. And I noticed one of our boards had swollen. So if you can see, we got real bad swelling, which I don't understand why, because we have our gaps that the H-clips provide, that 1/8 inch gap on both the upper and lower, and we had slightly larger than an 1/8 inch gap on the ends. So I don't understand why this still swelled as bad as it did. None of the other boards did, just this one. I guess we're gonna have to rip it out.
Well, so much for that. I guess we need to get ready because now we're gonna go to the store and have to get more plywood. This stuff. Nothing like seeing the roof deck you just built be tore up. Alright, we just got back, so now it's time to start covering this back up. On the bright side, we do kind of have a skylight right now, so that's good.
We found holes in these walls. We like what we saw.
How much do you think one of these things weigh? It's like 200 pounds? Probably 200. Oh, see that? With such effortlessness. Boom. What? 25 pounds? No, they're not 25 pounds.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
I bet money they're not more than 30.
Okay, so now they're 30. What's next to 35?
No, they're not.
Listen.
They're not more than 30.
I can curl 25 pounds. I couldn't curl that.
Yeah, because it's big and awkward, just like me.
You guys, I seriously need to learn how to get some ups. I used to play basketball, but it's just like
White
not
girl
happening.
can't jump.
That's mean. Okay. Do it romantically.
You're my heart's desire.
Oh, this is so hot.
We were dancing on wire, reckless, it seemed. I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door. I had no reason to complain. I didn't have the words to explain. I never felt.
All right, much better.
Can you tell which one's new?
Yeah. Right? All the other ones have a nice suntan.
All right, now that we got the swollen plywood replaced, we're now going to work on the gap in between the container and that wall. So what we're going to do is use spray foam. Once that hardens, then we're going to come back and trim the excess off, run the fluid applied flashing from the wall down onto the container. The insulation itself acts as a air barrier, and then the fluid applied flashing will be not only an air barrier, but also to stop any moisture that happens to get on top of the containers. There should never be that issue, but just in case, it won't be able to penetrate into this inside the house.
For anybody that doesn't know, this is the gap we're talking about right now. Up here between the ridges.
And one thing I want to note is you want to wear some clothes you don't really care about, because as soon as spray foam gets on it, it's on there pretty much forever. So I'll get changed into something I don't care about. All right, that's better. Just got an old t-shirt that I paint in and work on cars in, and some old gym shorts. So let's get started. Alright, so all I'm doing now is just sloppily applying this fluid applied flashing. There's no like real easy way to get it in between these joints, so I just got a small spatula and kind of working it in there. Just so, my main concern is just having a good amount within the joint area itself, because that's where it's going to expand and contract the most and have the most flex.
And then you're just cutting the excess off right there?
Oh yeah.
Of the spray foam?
Yeah, the spray foam. Just cutting the excess off and then flashing against it.
Looks good. So this is what it looks like now that Spencer has all of that fluid applied flashing installed. And the spray foam, you can see from the other side, it is underneath the wall, and it's working really well because actually for the last couple of days we've been having pretty consistent rain and no water has actually been able to penetrate it and get into the containers. So we know it works, and then obviously we will be putting a roof on top of each container so it will not remain exposed, but so far so good.
That one's close.
I want to go out there with the spotlight.